right, Kramer. I know you're chomping at the bit to unload on some Lions futures. I'll start with the over 10.5 wins. Sounds like we're all on board with that. I'll also toss in NFC North at plus 140. I think the fact that you can get plus odds on this Lions team, we're going to look back and be like, hey, that was a pretty darn good price. What about you, Ryan? I'll let you take it from here.
My largest bet out in Vegas in terms of risk right now is the Lions to win the division. Oh my God. Plus 150 at the Circa. I know you can still find some plus 150s out there too.
Oh, okay. Nice.
To me, they should be priced at least, give me a minus 135, something reasonable. This seems absolutely crazy. The gap between them and the Packers is larger than I think some folks are thinking, which brings me to another point. Passing leaders in the division, Sean.
Yeah.
Would you believe it if I told you that Jared Goff is not favored over Jordan Love?
Really? Okay. What is his
for passing yards? He is.
Okay.
It's minus 140. We're not doing that. Passing touchdowns. Jared Goff is plus 185.
Yeah, I'm in on that 100%.
What are we doing? He's thrown 29 and 30. And again, I think the offense could take a step forward here. Even if he throws 30 again, how are you pricing this at plus 185 just based on Jordan? To me, this is the most in love market with Jordan Love. That just and honestly, even if you just compare it to the yardage, it does not seem to make sense.
I think at the very least, it should be close to even, right?
Yeah, sure. No, Goff should be favored.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even I'm being like if they're hanging a 185.
All right.
I think they should be like minus 120.
This is chalky, but last undefeated team, the Lions. We saw how easy this schedule is to start. They're basically favored or a tiny dog in every game, all the way out to week 11 or whatever. We've kind of put the flag in the sand for that Packers game week 8. So if they get to that point, they cash you this ticket for sure. I'm taking that one 8-1. Love that one. They have one of the easiest early schedules. You want to talk about a team that you want to get all of your positive stuff in early? It's the Lions. If you want to fade the Lions, wait till the middle of the season when they have an insane record. Continuing down the road. Did you want to throw a couple out, Sean?
Yeah. So no, I
can keep doing.
I mean, I was gonna tag on. I'm co-signing your Jared Goff NFC North passing touchdowns at plus 185. I like that as well. I'm also gonna throw in Jared Goff most passing touchdowns in the league. I mean, at 16-1, this offense, this offensive line, the dome environment, like
I'd rather have MVP.
Really?
Even at this depressed price.
I'll take the passing touchdowns at 16-1. But yeah, I mean, you like MVP at 30-1.
Well, having a ticket on 35-1 for Goff, I'd still bet it if you like if you're bullish on the Lions this year. Everything that you laid out about the 1 seed odds price comparison to the MVP for Jared Goff, is someone else going to win the MVP on this team if they're the 1 seed? So if they go 14-3 and Jared Goff has a season like he had last year, you don't think he's getting the MVP?
Yeah, no, I mean the pricing makes sense. I'll just stay at the passing touchdown 16-1.
Okay.
But I mean the value alone, the pricing difference between the 1 seed and MVP makes it seem like it's a good bet. But I'll keep it with passing touchdowns. So what else you got, Ryan?
You want underdog?
Sure, toss that out too.
Well, this is fine to play in any sort of marketplace, but the projection for Jared Goff 41-25.5 yards. I mean, again, we're just assuming he's going to get hurt if he doesn't get this number. 44-38 2 seasons ago, 45-75 last season. I don't know what the version of this team where he doesn't get there. So yeah, honestly, his yards, his touchdowns, again, they're pricing his touchdowns at 25.5 or 26.5. Seems quite low, but the yardage seems like the angle I would take there. So higher.
Yeah, and I'll toss in for my underdog, Porta higher 850.5 receiving yards. I think he's. I mean, what else do you want to see from him? Great season. I wouldn't be surprised if he adds on to it. 10 touchdowns is tough to repeat, but I think he's going to be in the mix for it. But to me, there's less variance in the receiving yards because he is such a staple. He's going to get the volume. You never know with the touchdown stuff. Maybe it breaks a little wrong for him, but I still like the touchdowns. But I think the yards to me is a better play. So yeah, Laporta higher receiving yards, Goff North passing touchdowns, most passing touchdowns in the league, NFC North and over 10.5 wins. Easy. What do you got for this Lions team?
Yeah, I got a bunch. So obviously they're over 10.5. Division winner, conference winner, Super Bowl winner. I'm going on all of them.
What do you get the Super Bowl at over there?
So right now, yeah, I saw it at plus 1,200. I bet it the day after the Super Bowl at plus 1,400.
All right, I'll give you the 14 for the sheet.
Yeah, I put way too much money on it the day after the Super Bowl, but I still like it. So
yeah, come on.
Yeah, no complaints. I'm also on last unbeaten team.
Okay.
Like I said, the first loss I have is either the Packers or Texans, week 9 or 10. That's the one reason I like the bye, I guess, is for that. The only other team that I really see getting that stretch with us would maybe be your Eagles, because y'all's schedule's kind of easy up front too.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, I think it's probably going to be between those two. So I think it's great odds there. A fun one that I like is Amon-Ra, Laporta, and Jamison Williams to each have 6+ receiving touchdowns. That's plus 600.
Okay. So wait, Amon-Ra, Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams, and Laporta each 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. So my thought process with that one is Amon-Ra and Laporta are easily going to get to 6. So you're basically just getting 6-1 odds on Jamison Williams getting 6 touchdowns, which by itself is only plus 200.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Look, I mean,
that's math.
It's got the math solved.
It's math.
You got to find that value.
Can I add one real quick, Sean?
Sure.
Well, if I'm going to do the last undefeated team, I should also do that 5 wins in their first 5 games is 6-1.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's almost a better bet.
You know what? I'm gonna add that.
Oh,
because their first
the Cowboys would be the 5th win that we could celebrate coming off the bye.
So 5 wins in first 5 is 6-1.
6-1.
Yeah, I like that. This team will get off to a decent start, I think.
Yeah, although, I like that one too.
Don't fuck this up against the Rams. Although let's see, Rams was 3.5. I don't know. Could be a field goal game. I don't want to lock in any of my week 1 picks. I got to go through my process. So easy. You like? Sorry, keep going. What else you got?
Yeah. So my next one is Aiden Hutchinson over 10.75 sacks. He had 11.5 last year, and we added 2 guys that'll help him get to the quarterback. So for his number to be lower than what it was last year with added help makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and his underlying stuff, like those weren't Fugazi sacks.
No, he's a handful.
Even though his hands may be on the small side, he does seem to be a good pass rusher.
Yeah, we did shake Aiden Hutchinson's hand, and that was the takeaway. It's like, is he? Maybe he's not going to be able to succeed at the next level with these.
I was
smaller. Well, you know what it is. It's not like he has small hands, but then you shake a guy like Chris Long's hand or some of these other guys that are in the league, and it's like, oh my God, it's like you're like I mean, I don't have big hands by any means, so you feel like almost a ball in a catcher's mitt, like your entire hand is enveloped by the other guy. It's like, oh my God, this dude's massive.
Some of these guys, it's like, Jesus, must have huge dicks.
You can only long. You can only wonder how big Nick Foles' hand is. So sorry to interrupt there. Easy. What else you got?
Yeah, so I have 2 other ones. I have Sam Laporta over 7.5 receiving touchdowns.
Okay.
I do like your yards, but I just think touchdowns make more sense for him. You know, he led the team last year in red zone targets, which is kind of nuts considering we have Amon-Ra right there. But he led the team in red zone, and he also caught 94% of his red zone targets. So he's a reliable guy in the red zone. He's going to get his looks down there. And then to add to that, I also put a little bit on him for most receiving touchdowns at plus 2,400.
Okay.
You know, he had 10 last year. Last year it was only 13, so he was 3 away. In his second year with Goff, he should improve, you would think, especially with Josh Reynolds leaving. So he'll probably get even more red zone looks. which just adds on to what he did last year.
It's tough to argue with the case, Ryan.
I like the optimism.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
full menu.
Yeah,
full menu.
We got it. We're like at a Jersey diner, Ryan. You can order everything off Easy's menu,
and no matter what you order, you get coleslaw.
What else you got? Do you have any more left, Easy?
Yeah, I have one more. It's James.
Perfect.
Jamison Williams over 675.5 receiving yards.
670 and a half. You said
675.5.
Okay.
Now this did just go up like a few days ago. It was 650. So obviously the books are seeing something, or they're just getting bet on a lot. But I've just been really high on Jamison Williams in this offseason. You know, in multiple interviews, both Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson have talked about how well he's doing, you know, in training camp and everything, how he'll do anything they ask. He's shown that he's a great blocker, so he's obviously going to stay on the field. And he only had 42 targets last year, and he still got to over 400 yards. So if he can do that with, or close to 400 yards. So if he can do that with 42 targets in a year where his target share should probably double that, you know, I think this is an easy number for him to get over, and it's only 40 yards a game. He can do that in one completion or one reception. So it just seems too low for me not to take.
Yeah, and Josh Reynolds, you're looking at 40 catches, 608 yards being vacated. I could see him eating up some of the Reynolds looks for sure.
Yeah, I think he gets the bulk share of them. The only other option that I could really see is other than Jamison Williams and the other two, we haven't really had a whole lot of good news out of our receiving core. So I think there's a really good chance that Vaki, the running back, can actually get some looks in the slot for us. And he could eat a few of those targets, but it's not going to be enough to really impact Jamison that much.
Vaki, is Vaki a guy you're drafting in best ball at all? Does he have enough of a role?
Vaki.
Are we going to be playing Vaki first touchdowns?
Yeah, I actually really like Vaki. And it's more for the potential of having him at the slot than it actually is in the run game, because we have so many options in the run game. You know, on top of Montgomery and Gibbs, we also have Craig Reynolds, Jake Funk, Zonovan Knight, Jamar Jefferson, and then Vaki. And there's a really good chance. Yeah. There's a really good chance we have 5 running backs on our roster when the season starts. So
Dan Campbell likes it that way.
Yeah. Smash mouth football.
By the way, Zonovan Knight, Sean, you may remember him as Bam.
Yeah. No, I remember Zonovan for sure. All right. I'm gonna make Sam Laporta higher 7.5 receiving touchdowns. Your underdog play easy. You got a lot here. We got to fill out the graphic. So let's take a look.
Good.
Wait,
yes.
Can I say one more?
Sure.
It doesn't have to go on my card. But they are pricing the Packers Lions.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Easy's card. Like
it looks awesome. It's so stacked. The Lions and the Packers, the chop this year is plus 110.
You want to add that?
Yeah, add that.
Okay, adding that to the card. I mean, go to youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. There's too many to relist.
I like the Lions this year.
We're
Sean.
big on the Lions.
This could go.
Knock on wood. What could go wrong? Really I'm the pessimist at 12-5. Did not see that coming. Kramer and Easy 14-3. Easy's got them going all the way. Again, if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, I will be rooting for the Lions. Great fan base, great city. Wish them the best. And yeah, there's a ton of fun props, I think, because of what we can kind of expect from this passing game.
Yeah, and for those who are in the sheet, Sean, I have spun up the final standings tab so you can see how our records line up. A little underweight in the NFC.
You are
a little underweight.
Oh, is that why you got up to 14-3?
No. I'm looking at it now that it's basically everyone but the Niners in there, and I know I'm not going to be tremendously high on the Niners.
It's a quadrant game. It's a guessing game, but